How is it going? I hope everyone's doing well, and thank you for tuning in this video. Today I'm here with my WWE Hell in a Cell 2020 pay-per-view predictions. Of course, Hell in a Cell is live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tomorrow night. And overall, going into Hell in a Cell this year, we only have 5 matches so far scheduled in the show. I'm sure more obviously will be added. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk about, honestly. Just a whole bunch of rematches. Sasha Banks and Bayley, the one match that everyone's been clamoring for years. It's finally happening after years. Everyone wanted it to happen at WrestleMania and SummerSlam. It's finally happening, and inside Hell in a Cell nonetheless. And to be perfectly honest, it just doesn't feel as monumental or as big as it should. It just, I don't know, it's happening, but I don't feel necessarily excited. And I'm not blaming them. I know, we're in the pandemic and we don't have like live crowds that, hugely added to their Brooklyn match, if you ask me. You're missing some key elements, and it's not gonna take away from the match. Obviously, they're going to go out there and have a killer match nonetheless. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem, the hype just doesn't seem there for me personally. So Sasha Banks and Bayley should tear the house down at inside Hell in a Cell, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem as big as, everyone was hoping that it would be once it finally happens. But the rest of the card, we got McIntyre and Orton once again inside Hell in a Cell. Well, not once again inside Hell in a Cell, but once again we're getting that match, but this time inside Hell in a Cell. Hopefully it's a blow-off. For the very first time ever, a I Quit match inside Hell in a Cell. Of course, Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against Jey Uso. I'm looking forward to that match a lot. Obviously, there's 0 chance in hell Roman Reigns quits. But you know what? After the banger of a match they had at Clash of Champions, it's very hard not to be excited for that match. So I think Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are going to go out there and have a killer Hell in a Cell. And I think it's going to be one that people are definitely going to talk about. So yeah, not a whole lot to talk about. But you know what? There is some things to talk about. And I do think we'll get some great stuff coming out of it. Just nothing really, really too exciting if you ask me. But yeah, those are my thoughts going to Hell in a Cell. That was see more times. Go ahead and go over the full cards, all my predictions. Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Sasha Banks. I'm going to go ahead and say Sasha Banks walks out of this match the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. If I'm on SmackDown, I'm looking at Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair as my SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania next year. So I think, obviously a step in that direction is for Sasha Banks to win the championship. I think right here is the right time to do it. I could see Bayley retaining and potentially setting up a rematch at WrestleMania between the two of them. But honestly, I think it should be a one and done. Have Sasha beat Bayley here and call it quits. And it should be a stellar match, but I think it should be one-on-one with Sasha Banks walking out the brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. Jeff Hardy versus Elias. I'm going to go ahead and say Elias walks out of this match the winner. He just came back and you got to capitalize on momentum. And he's a heel too, so you can cheat to beat Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy losing doesn't lose any momentum. It doesn't hurt him by any means. And I can see him winning it, but what does that accomplish? Doesn't accomplish anything, and it puts more heat on Elias. So I'm going to go ahead and say Elias gets the win. Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. WWE Champion Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. I'm going to go ahead and say Drew McIntyre retains the WWE Championship here. If Orton was supposed to be champion, I think they would have done it at Clash of Champions and then McIntyre's rematch here. So, I don't know. I just don't feel the sense of urgency to have Randy Orton be WWE champion anymore. I kind of think that boat sailed on his momentum, so you might as well keep the championship with McIntyre. Should be a great match. They've had great matches throughout their series so far, but I'm just ready for it to be over personally. So, should be great, but like I said, McIntyre is my pick to walk out still the WWE champion. Money in the Bank contract match. Money in the Bank contract winner Otis versus The Miz. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to say Miz walks out the brand new Money in the Bank contract holder. I think Otis having it's a mistake to begin with, and maybe they realized it, and now they're going to take it off him. I don't know. Otis will probably end up walking out still Mr. Money in the Bank, honestly, but I'm going to go on a limb and say Miz takes it from him, so should be whatever, but like I said, I'm just going to go on a limb and say Miz walks out the brand new Mr. Money in the Bank. And then the main event, I Quit Hell in a Cell match for the Universal Championship. Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. It's very obvious Roman Reigns will retain the championship. There's no doubt in hell. It should be a phenomenal story. I'm excited for it. They had a great match with Clash of Champions. I think this match will be even better. It should be a phenomenal story, but end result, I do think Jey Uso will ultimately end up quitting. So, yeah, should be an exciting match nonetheless. But like I said, end result, Roman Reigns undoubtedly will walk out still the Universal Champion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed my WWE Hell in a Cell 2020 pay-per-view predictions. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. Of course, on my review, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.